Number 10 on the list is Francis, because he's pretty much the most badass survivor I've ever seen or played as. Now, the reason why he's at number 10 is because his voice acting is it just doesn't suit him. And whenever he complains, he just complains, and nobody likes a complainer on their team. Number 9 on the list is Zoe, because she's the female character that isn't, well, annoying. And she's got that badass "don't fuck with me" look. Number 8 on this list is Ellis, because he's just young and he's just gullible, and he's just the comic relief of the Left 4 Dead 2 campaign, and his stories about Keith are just funny. Number 7, and the first special infected on this list, is the Smoker. The Smoker is slow whenever it gets its tongue pulled and blown off, and it can be annoying once it's on a roof and then you can't find it or even kill it. And sometimes the survivors don't attack the Smoker or even just cut its tongue off. And you can really use it to separate a group from itself, or separate a group using its tongue if you're at a far enough distance, but unfortunately it only has limited range. Number 6 on this list is the Tank. Now, the reason why the Tank is at number 6 is because of the limited time you have with it, and it's just one of the best zombies you can, but you can't spawn as the Tank until the director AI actually tells you that you can spawn with it. And the limited time that you have with the Tank to actually give the survivors, and the distance it just spawns you away from it. Now, one of its attacks was throwing concrete blocks from the ground or throwing debris. Now, once you get a survivor separated, you're basically fucked once you're separated with a Tank. And nobody really likes this next one, a Tank spawning in a safe room. Now, I've only had that happen to me once, and it sucked. Number 5 on this list is the Charger, because the Charger can really separate one person and bowl over all the survivors, splitting them up. Now, if there is a spitter nearby, the spitter can help. Now, you can, like in this clip here, you can really see one person getting separated. Now, if you have another, like a hunter, you can use a hunter with the Charger, because I've done it before. Now, you can really mow down the survivors in a hall like that. Now, I have 2 clips of that with the Charger mowing down the survivors in a hallway in dead center. And it's just amazing to play with. And then you have your random spawns, the ambush spawns, which you can use it to knock a survivor right off the cliff. That can be really useful when you're separating a survivor from the group. And again, once another lone survivor comes to help his teammate, you attack him. This is very, very useful in versus whenever a survivor is just out by himself, and then you're spawning as a Charger, just splitting them up faster. You can really do some damage with that. And then in Scavenge, you can use it to mow down survivors again, making them cry and whine. And then again, you can just ambush them. It's just strong. And then once it's charging at you, unless its health is not at like 1, you can't melee it until it's stopped. Now, you can kill it with a chainsaw probably, but even then, Chargers usually attack with little or no warning, and you can use it to ambush somebody off of a pillar like this. In hard rain, you can do it. And then spawning behind a pole, ambushing the survivors is always a good one. Up the stairs and out a window, usually, is a good ambush. Now, my favorite ambush is using the kamikaze charge in dead center. and then spawning on top of a roof. Now, it would have went better if there was nothing there. Launch one of the survivors into the abyss. You can do that too. My favorite one is spawning right behind him and then just plowing right through him from behind. It is just, it makes the Charger number 5. Now the number 4 is Nick, because Nick looks like that character you throw in Grand Theft Auto. He'd be your main, he'd be one of the characters in it, or you could play as him. I mean, he just looks, and he just looks, look, it just looks like he'd be part of Grand Theft Auto. And why not add a pony version of him in here? I could not pass this by. Number 3 is Bill, because Bill has an interesting backstory, being in part of one of the wars, and he's got a pretty cool Minecraft skin. And he's just noble for making a sacrifice at the end of the sacrifice, because Bill's the one who actually saves everyone, but unfortunately gets killed. Now, he would have seen some shit if he would have survived, but unfortunately, the character playing as Bill, it doesn't have to be Bill, but usually is, has to turn off the generator. Number 2, he's a nimble rapist, neck rapist, special infected. He's the jockey. Now he can really ambush you and then end up ruining your day. Now meeting up with this jockey is just, it is just amazing. You can do with the jockey. Now you can also ride a jockey with Ellis. I'm just kidding. You can also be a jockey with pistols. Now, with the jockey, this is where it really kicks in. What you can do with the jockeys, you can actually steer a survivor out of harm's way. While there's you can steer a survivor in harm's way once there's a horde, and you can really separate the survivor from the group. And then once you're knocked off, you can recover fast. I mean, it's just fast recovery with the jockey. Now you can do it again. You can do it over and over again as long as you're not getting shot and killed. And of course, jockeys rape your neck, as always. And its mutant form just looks, or its modded form, it just looks intimidating. Well, the crawler at least. Headcrabs doesn't. And the crawler can do quite a bit of damage. What list isn't complete without a jockey? Or not a jockey, but a hunter. The hunter is just one of the most, it's just the best, in my opinion, the best special infected to play as. Now, even if you're not a pro with a hunter, you can still do some pretty decent amount of damage by spawning on a roof and then just diving right into a survivor. Now, the normal damage on you don't really do any damage with a leap, and if you do, you're doing probably about 5 damage. On a roof, you can do about 20 damage, or if you're doing it higher, you can do more than 20. You can almost, if you do it from a high enough roof, you can literally incapacitate your survivors, if not kill them, with just one single leap. Now, with all this stuff you can just do more with it. The hunter really defies the laws of physics once it's in leap. You can literally just jump to your destination from wall to wall. Now, if you can really do some damage. If you're really good at wall jumping, you can almost kill your survivors if you do it correctly with a wall jump. Now, this is just amazing what you can do. The hunter is just the hunter is basically, in my opinion, the special infected that can do more. Now, it really sucks when they come in from behind you and from on top of a wall behind you. Now, what would be intimidating was turning around, seeing a hunter jump off a wall and attack you, and then you miss your sniper shot, and then you're down on the ground getting raped by it. Now, there are some significant differences with the hunter from Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2, he's got no sleeves, and you can really see how infected he is. And if you've seen one in real life, you're pretty much like, oh shit, and then you're dead. And of course, it's number 1 because it's one of my favorite, and it itself just looks intimidating. But you can But the most astounding feature of it is whenever it's coming at you, it looks like the common infected, and then you don't think that it's a hunter until it's on the ground, and then until it's on the ground and leaping towards you. And then by the time you start to react, it's already pounced on you, and then you're dead. And that is one of the biggest reasons why it's number 1. And if you were to throw this hunter out in the wild, it would practically survive and win in the wild by pouncing on its prey easily. Now, give or take the speeds of it, it could probably take down a gazelle, as far as the jockey does. A jockey could probably ride the gazelle and kill it. And its hoodless form just looks like one of the creatures from Dead Space, and that's why it's number 1. And that's just weird.